10 years back, if someone had told me that I'd not be working in a corporate as a project manager and I'd be running a little space which is all about books and reading and children, it would have been a dream, right? But it would just have been that. I don't think I'd have ever imagined actually doing something like this. And 4 years back, when we actually started the reading room, I still had no clue this is where we'll be 4 years later. The distance we have come, the journey that we have crossed, it's been something else. It's been very organic and it's been very self-made. I had no clue what we'd be doing, the kind of people I'd be meeting, the kind of conversations I'd be having, or that this would be life, that this would become the biggest definition of what life is or what purpose is. Books were always a big part of my life. I can't remember the earliest time of my life when I had not had a book. My parents were both in the army, they were both doctors, and all my life I have travelled around, shifted schools, shifted friends, shifted teachers. I've not had constants other than having mom and dad. If not books, I'd have nothing, no character that has in my head been in my life from start to today. So books for me are constant, they're everything and they've always been there. Even when I went off to college to do my post-graduation, to study, getting used to a hostel life, there were always books to fall back on. Then when I started working, I've been working in the industry for a good 8-10 years. I've always, for me, coming back, relaxing, calming down, just my me time was going back to reading. So books have always been a big part of my life, and then I had a kid. My son's now 10 years old. Even as he was a very little baby, we started this bedtime reading routine where I'd read with him every night. We'd laugh and giggle, and we'd probably not get through a story, but we'd have so much. That was such a beautiful time of bonding and laughing together. And when I read stories to him, he would share stories of what happened in his day, some incident. It was a very special moment, and I think books coming into his life were less about the actual reading or stories as much as the positivity that was attached to the reading moments in the time. When we would travel, when we'd go on train journeys, he would always be happy just having multiple books to go through. Then he started going to school, and in his Montessori, a couple of months in, his teacher started asking me, how does he read so much? They actually thought I make him sit down and study his textbooks so that he can read them fluently when he's in class. And then and I'm the last person to do that. So it's just because he was comfortable with the language by then, the simpler, smaller words were familiar to him. So that happened, reading and children and how important it was started becoming a big thing. Another thing I noticed as he was growing up was interaction. Since I grew up in the army atmosphere, we had a lot of space for free, unstructured interaction between just children, where teachers or parents were not constantly looking and saying, don't do this, don't touch that, that is somebody else's toy. No, if somebody took my toy, I had to learn to deal with it. And I think that is a huge part of personality development. There are no textbook or teachers or anything, nobody can teach you these. These have to come from knowing and learning and doing and experiencing. And for me, when reading came together with Sid growing up and his personality coming through, I felt there was a little gap because he was not getting an opportunity for that kind of free interaction. There'd be school, there'd be home. And no matter how free we are with him, it's not his peers. He is never learning how to deal with his peers, and I think most of the contemporary children are not. Because they're going from one structured atmosphere where there are people telling them, keep quiet, listen, stand up, wish, to another structured atmosphere, to home. They're not going to an unstructured place where they have to decide who they will become and what will happen if they talk a certain way. So I was working, all this time I was also working, but there was a break, so I was doing a project with the government, and then that project came to a little, that project was finishing, I was in the end of the project, and then we had to decide if we are moving back, should I be going back to say Pune or Hyderabad, wherever I had been working before, to start doing another project. But then there was this period of uncertainty when I wasn't sure, and my son had started school, so I wasn't sure if I'm really willing to pluck him out of here. So all of that came together and decided for as long as we are here, and now this feeling of children needing that safe expressive space and bringing reading to their life, all of that coming together had become such a strong feeling for me that I felt like we need a space for whatever little time that I'm here till I make the decision of what's next. I'll start a space where free expression and confident expression using the right words and the right tools is the main goal, and books and having fun with books and stories is the tools that we use to attain that goal. So that's basically how the idea of Reading Room germinated. You can ask any reader you know, they'll always have dreamt of growing up or having a space which is filled with books of their own, either running a library or running a bookstore, or for me it was just my safe book place, which I could extend to other people who wanted safe book places, and especially for children, for completely safe and confident expression. So that's basically how Reading Room started 4 years back, without any idea where we'd be 4 years later.
So for the longest time, I've been obsessed with words. Even when I came all the way to India from life in Dubai, where everything is fast-paced and everyone's interactive and you constantly have people to talk to. My parents said, hey, we're shifting to India permanently. I was in shock. I never expected to come here and then attend school and then notice that all the other kids around me were so focused on their academics. Not a lot of them were very encouraging about following different things or exploring new things. So being the public speaker that I am, enjoying writing, enjoying poetry, it just kind of always made me feel like an outcast. And in those days, when I didn't really have anything to look forward to and I didn't feel like I had any friends, books were my constant. I would always spend my time reading. The librarian was always the first person I went to in school. There was always this personal connect to these English teachers and these librarians just because they connected to me in a language I understood. For the longest time, I couldn't imagine anything beyond reading. And then around the time when parents usually ask you, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? The one straight shot answer after I thought about everything else was becoming a publisher. So as I steadily grew up, I realized that a lot of books out there right now for kids aren't always the best option. There used to be much more better quality literature, and I realized that, hey, this is something that I want to do. I want to put out quality English books into the Indian publishing market, and I'm going to do this. And this was sometime in 9th grade. And then college, finally I'm having so much free time. So I started looking for internships. I went around to so many bookstores in Trivandrum asking them if there's some position that I can take up, because I really enjoy just being around books. So maybe if I can recommend books to somebody, maybe if I can talk to them about it, it'll be something that I enjoy. And then one evening when I was just walking home, I noticed a signboard on the side of the road. It was this really small black circular sign, and I suddenly had a flashback. Throughout my years at school and everything, I remember reading these articles about an institution called the Reading Room, and I remember reading about the founder. I didn't even remember Ashna's name at that point, but I just remembered those articles and how she spoke about how she had a childhood that was constantly in transition. The one line that stuck with me from those articles was about her trunks full of books that she'd carry around from one cantonment to the next, and I related so much to that, and I thought, okay, hey, I'm free. Why not just go in and see what it's about? And then I went in, and oh my god, my life changed. So when I walked in, I saw this tiny little house with a few plants up front, and I saw Archana with a handbag getting ready to leave. So then I thought, okay, maybe I'm interrupting here. I don't know what's happening. Should I walk in right now? This seems like bad timing. But I went in and I asked, hey, I don't know if you're busy or if you're locking up right now, but I want to see what the place is about. I just wanted to drop in. I studied at a college nearby. Could you just show me about? And she said, yeah, come in, I'll just show you around. And I saw all these kids sitting inside. There was this one room all the way inside, and there were all these tiny little faces peeking out of the doorway and looking at me. And I was wondering, okay, there's kids here. And then she showed me the library. So straight when we walked into the office to the left, I smelled the books before I even saw them. And then I walked into this room that had so many books piled all the way up to the walls. I just looked at it and I went, okay, wow, okay, this is good. But Gayatri, you've seen the Central Library. Let's see if the collection's actually good. First thought, because a lot of libraries in Trivandrum I found didn't have as good a collection. The kind of books that they kept oftentimes ended up being really boring ones, to be honest. So, and every time I walk into a library, I kind of have this moment where I wonder, okay, if the collection's really nice. And then I went through it and I saw all these books that I've either wanted to read, the books that I really read and I loved. I saw new books that I really couldn't wait to pick up, and I thought, okay, interesting collection, this is a good sign, what else? And then she showed me inside and she said, yeah, so I do these storytelling sessions with the kids where I read stories to them and we talk about it and we have these really nice discussions and everything. And I saw all these little kids and they were all eagerly waiting for Archana to come back and talk to them and everything. And I thought, okay, she's talking to kids. Wow, that's brave. I can't talk to kids. But I just found it so impressive. And then she showed me around the sales area where she had these graphic novels and comic books ready. There were all these awesome fiction books and non-fiction books. And I thought, okay, it has a bookstore, it has a library, and it has interactive storytelling. This is it. This is where you want to work. So I thought, okay, this is going to seem really weird. I've known her for 15 minutes. How am I going to pitch to her that I need her to take me in and let me work here? So I said, ma'am, I'm looking for an internship actually. And I was wondering if I can work here because I really, really love books. So then I talked to her about my background, how I really enjoy reading books, why I find it so important that words need to be communicated in the best way possible. And she said, okay, you know what, this is actually really great timing because right now we were just about to wind up the session, but I'm about to leave right now because I have to attend a government meeting. So I thought, okay, is there some new storytelling initiative or something going on? What's happening? Because in my head when I talked to her, she was very articulate, very strong and everything, and I thought, okay, wow, awesome, what does she do? So then I asked her, okay, so what do you do? Is there some other thing happening with the government or something related to children? And she said, no, they've called me as a project manager for this mission that they have. So they've called me there. I actually am a construction manager. I've worked in the industry for a solid 12 years. This is my son, Sidhu. A lot of shock. Her son was so tiny and I never thought that, she looked so young. So I thought, okay, what? She's a mom, really? No way. And then she tells me, okay, I've been a project manager for around 10-12 years. I worked with these companies. And I just sat there stunned and in shock. The idea of someone with that background starting an initiative like this just had me so excited and I was so surprised. I really wanted to bring my sister here. I wanted to start working here. I didn't even know. I had so many ideas and I was just the 17-year-old that walked in and just knew, okay, I want to fit here.
In the beginning, when it started, like I told you, my idea was to try and help about 3 or 4 children, whatever few children would come, and if you could just read with them, what I could do with Sid and what everybody was observing about him and asking me about him, if I could just extend it to another child, or, you know, that was all. I mean, that's all we had in our head. I didn't do any extensive advertising or marketing ideas. Some social media posting and that's about it. We did not have paper ads or anything, but slowly as a concept grew and people started hearing about it, we did have a couple of FM interviews happening, just people being curious about what the concept is and what we were trying to do with it. We also had a few newspaper articles happening, so people came and interviewed me and asked why I did this and what the idea behind it was. But other than that, I don't think there was any advertising. And the kids that started coming, first 1, then 3, then 5, you know, people who started coming, they all came in very organically. So friends telling each other or parents of one child telling another parent, it was a very organic growth. Till about an year down the line, we had our first summer camp. And again, summer camp was never something I had envisaged doing. Till some parents who were coming regularly, by then we had a small group of say 10, 12, 15 parents coming in regularly with their children. They started asking if we could extend, instead of doing the evening sessions, we could extend our sessions to the morning, so that when they are going to work and children don't have school, they have a safe, happy place that the children also love to drop their children. And at that point also I thought, okay, 10 kids coming in 5 days a week, we'll handle. Till it somehow happened that we had some 20-25 people wanting to come in, and we reached a point where we desperately needed good interns. The search for interns is a whole story in itself, right? Because when we put out an ad, we either have, the moment we say we're working with children, we either have people who are teachers coming in who want to teach the children, or we have people who are managers of the space. And I didn't want any of these. What I was looking for was another very passionate person who understood books, who understood stories, who understood why they mattered as much as they mattered to me. And if I could find one more person who could understand that, and in my absence or in addition to me being there, be able to inculcate the same magic to children, not the same teaching. the same values, the same love for words, and the same strength in utilizing words well. If I could find one more person to do that, I think that's what I really was looking for. And that's how after the summer camp, not having somebody else to help, not having, it was just Nitin and I and a couple of other people, friends coming in, but I didn't have an intern per se, and that really drove me for the search of another person. A lot of times, a lot of people have come and asked me if I had a literature background, if I did my BA literature or MA literature, or if I'm a teacher, if that was my background. They ask, okay, what background was I, or which industry was I working in? And then I tell them construction, and you should see the shock in their faces. But as far as I'm concerned, books are just me, like how oxygen is for me. So it doesn't matter whichever field I worked in, I would always have books and words and writing. They were my go-to, they were my peaceful place. So what did I do in construction? I did my civil engineering, and then I did my post-graduation in project management. So this is construction project management, after which I got placed as in the project management industry. So I was a project manager for the next 10, 12 plus years of my life. That's what I have done. And I genuinely give a lot of credit to reading for having a very successful corporate life. My corporate journey was amazing. It's not as if I was frustrated and stressed and I left it because I wanted to do something about literature. That would make for a good story, but that's not the thing. When I did that, I had fun. As a project manager, my main role is people management. Be it working with government stakeholders, be it working with private stakeholders, be it working with very big companies that we were doing the projects for, to very local vendors who we have to rely on for services. Managing teams, managing people was the biggest role of project management, right? And I think communication skills, be it written, be it spoken, planning skills, leadership skills, team building skills, without this, there's no project management. So for me, it's just a matter of getting the pulse of the team I'm working with, and being able to fit myself into that pulse and that language to get the work done. And I genuinely have always believed that reading did a big, it had a huge role. So after National Games happened, there was a big gap when, as I said, we were thinking of what to do next, and then the reading room started. 1 year into the reading room, the intern search was going on when I got called for another really big project by the Kerala government. When I found myself in this difficult position where I had to shuttle between the project, the secretariat work, and running the reading room, and call it fate, call it good karma, call it what you may, but that's how the right person walks in to the reading room as an intern at the right time.
Over the course of the 3 years that I've been here, I've kind of evolved to become a jack of all trades. When I started off, I didn't even know what an Excel sheet was or how it worked until Archana showed me, okay, this is how you do the inventory. But I still mess it up, and I've learned so many things. The fact that I had this freedom at 17 to express myself and be myself and do all these different things that I never thought I would have, that kind of an opportunity where I can just be myself and talk to all these different people from different walks of life who do so many different things. I mean, I've met journalists, I've met actors, I've met singers, I've met teachers. There's all these people from so many different walks of life who do different things, and yet they can come down, sit in the same room, talk to us about different kinds of things that they're going through, or maybe about a current affair that's going on. It's just so interesting to have so many different opinions come under one room. Then once I started at the reading room, I started off little by little by talking to the kids and storytelling. I was really afraid of the kids, by the way. So when I told Archana about this and that I'm kind of afraid to actually read to the kids, she told me, okay, yeah, you can sit there. Then I started talking to the kids slowly, and then I realized, hey, you know what, maybe not so bad, they're better. I started interacting with them, I became more of a storyteller. I really enjoyed the process of picking up these words from a book and transforming them into these magical discussions. The most incredible thing when I walked in for me was the fact that Archana and Nitin were ready with any ideas that I had. So I constantly would keep bugging them at all times, saying, okay, let's do this, okay, let's do that, why don't we try this out? And one of the very first ideas that I pitched to them was starting to do public speaking and creative writing workshops. So I'm a public speaker from my childhood. For the longest time, I've always really enjoyed the process of public speaking. I think that's also kind of obvious from the way I'm rambling. But yeah, I've just really enjoyed the process of public speaking a lot. Being on stage, having that mic in front of you, being able to express your thoughts sharply and crisply, and to be able to win over your audience. Now, that's something that I've been doing for almost 8 years. And when I was talking to the kids, I realized that a lot of them have these brilliant ideas. I said that, okay, because I've done a lot of public speaking, why don't we try doing one workshop? I'll work on it. I'll do the posters. And Archana said, okay. And I started doing the event. I planned out the modules. I spoke to Archana. She told me what part would be okay with the kids, what wouldn't be. Because when you're talking to kids, you need another language entirely. So once I picked that up, and once the first workshop announcement went out, we got so many responses. I was so surprised. We got around 20-25 entries. The kids all rushed into the room, and it was such an amazing experience for me to talk to all these kids about something that I enjoy doing, and to have them take that in. And that end of the day performance after that first day of classes, when we decided to go into a small mini competition just to see if they feel like they've improved, there was such a huge difference, and I enjoyed that. And I realized that, hey, this is what we can do. So we expanded into having a creative writing workshop as well called The Ink, and we kept conducting rhetoric. Once every month, either one of these workshops would be happening, and we started getting more and more attention, and more people started joining in. Which is around the time that we realized, hey, okay, we might need a little more space, or we have to cut down registrations because that's a lot of people joining in now. And then summer vacation came. I had a month or two off from college, and Archana told me, hey, so we did a summer camp last time, we're going to be doing one this time as well. I'll show you about it. It's really fun with the kids and everything. Now, I don't think she was expecting it either, but neither was I. We got such a huge response. There was some 40-45 people asking to register. There were the parents from the previous time. But wow, that was amazing. Now, more than the storytelling sessions where I'm interacting with them for 1 or 2 hours every week, this was 4 or 5 hours every single day with them, talking to them, dancing with them, singing with them. It was such a beautiful experience. And the summer camp, I think, was the very first time when I realized, hey, this is amazing. There's a lot happening, but wow, we can expand. We should expand from here.
The second summer camp, I think, shook us. It shook us to the core. I thought it would be okay, we managed the first summer camp, there is confidence now that we can do this, it's okay to have children come in every day for 5 days a week, and we had some 45-50 people wanting to join and register. So by this time we started getting really choked for space. We started feeling like, okay, this won't do. It hit me on my face that, hey, we have to expand. We need a bigger space, we need a bigger hall, we need more facilities to be able to accommodate so many children and do all these events and still be effective. And we also needed new people, we needed new interns, and during all this time we had been buying more books for the library according to the children's taste and other members' taste. We are adding more books, so we also needed more library space, more shelf space to accommodate the books. We had reached a point where one room had book stacks on the floor all around, so we needed more library space as well. So space and people, that was the next move.
And whenever I walked into the reading room during the weekdays after my college and everything, I used to see Archana and Gayatri sit with children and have their story hour sessions. And me being a really shy person in general, like I was pretty amazed when how the kids were interacting so openly, so confidently. When it comes to events, my favorite part is capturing the vibe, like feel of the event. I could see the expressions of the faces of the people, how they change when they walk into the reading room. They're all they love the space, they see the space, and so such a beautiful space. But they have this starting trouble. They don't speak a lot in the beginning, but once they get comfortable with the whole space, with all the people, they start talking, they start interacting, and they are in the zone. I personally love to capture such moments.
Okay, so the first time I came to the reading room, well, I was walking with a friend here in Jawaharnagar, and I saw this really cute little bookstore. So I thought I have to definitely go check it out. And that's how I came to the reading room. I met Archana and Gayatri first, and we talked about books, but I didn't have much to contribute because at that time I wasn't much of a reader. Then what happened was, I decided I have to come here again, and I took a membership. It was a half-yearly membership. Each time I came here, Gayatri would recommend a book for me, and I'd read that. I wasn't even specific about my taste at that point. I just picked any book I got and I started reading it. And slowly, I just felt like coming back more and more. There was something about this place that kept bringing me back here. But I loved the open mics the most. Those were the most fun times. And for the first one, I think that was the Believe open mic. I sang a song. I was so nervous, but these guys kept telling me to, try it out, and I did. I think maybe that was the point that gave me a lot of confidence. I thought, okay, I can do the stuff I want to, and all these people will be there to support me. So I continued participating in open mics and whatever event that was happening here. I even sat with some of the kids during the workshop they had for writing and all. I just wanted to spend as much time as I could here. I just somehow became part of the TRR crew. I think it started with me. I think I asked them if I could do help any way I can. I became a part of the TRR crew, and they started taking me out for these little trips to all the cafes, and they introduced me to coffee and little things like that. Those are the moments I remember the most. And with a lot of conversations about books, about everything, I started talking a lot more. I started writing a lot more too. I mean, I used to like writing, but I never had the confidence to put my work out, and I didn't think I ever could until I came here. It started with Tiara Reads. All the girls, we were just sitting together, and Archana gave this idea about starting a book review page on Instagram, and I thought, okay, why not? And I started writing reviews for the books I read, and slowly I enjoyed that a lot, and that led me to more writing. I started writing descriptions for the events here. And other than writing, I also started editing a little bit. So it started when Nitin, he's an international business journalist. He started giving me a little bit of work. It started with proofreading a manuscript, and then slowly a few exercises related to editing. And at first I was terrible at it. And then slowly I wanted to become better at it, so I started observing how he does his work, what all corrections he makes, and I started reading more about it, watching these videos related to editing and all that, and I think I've gotten better at it. Now I've done around 2 to 3 books here, and I think that is something I'll be super grateful for to the reading room.
So I think more than everything else, one crucial journey for me has been my writing journey. So over the course of handling social media to creating write-ups for different events, there's just been so much writing that happened as well since I came to the reading room. More than I used to do every day at home with my little journal and diary or the poetry that I used to write. And I had these people I could discuss it with. So when we started doing events, after we shifted to the new space, which was amazing, having such a huge event room and to be able to do all these workshops and these discussions there, it was just something else for me. I remember one of the very first events where we drew in the literature, poetry and art kind of crowd was when we decided to have an open mic. So this is something that Archana and I had constantly discussed all the way from when we started doing events, convincing ourselves, okay, we'll try it out. If no one comes, we'll end up performing. We can call our friends in. It's okay. People will register. Let's put it out on social media and see. To finally actually doing our very first open mic. And wow, the response that we got. I did not expect so many poets coming in, so many musicians. We had artists coming in and doing live drawings to music. It was such a wonderful crowd. Everyone had something or the other to share, and the fact that they felt okay. It was a room full of strangers gathering in the event room in evening under the fairy lights and deciding, hey, I have something to say here too, and I know these people aren't going to judge me for it. It's a beautiful thing, and it's very, very rare to find that. My one thing has always been poetry. More than anything, when I try to sit and write, like when I was trying to do social media captions for a lot of our Instagram posts and stuff, a lot of times it would automatically turn into poems. And I noticed poetry in almost everything. I remember for the longest time I used to bug Archana about her photo captions, because every time she used to post a picture on her personal feed, she'd write a small little poem and then she'd say, oh, that's not a poem, that's just a caption. That gave me this push towards introducing poetry to more people. So when I was reading to the kids, I talked to them about the poems that I like, about all these different authors out there. So poetry being so strong for me, one of the things that I wanted to bring about was to have a proper poetry club here. So I spoke to Archana and we started something called the Trivandrum Poetry Project, which would meet up on the second Saturday of every month. And it would just be a bunch of poets, whether published or not published, just coming together to share their favorite poems, maybe something that they wrote themselves. We try to keep a theme sometimes, or we wouldn't, and we have these beautiful discussions coming in from different feelings that people get about poetry. To have that community, being able to meet up and seeing so many people talk about their poems, read their poems, say that, hey, you know, maybe I could tweak that verse a bit, but I really enjoyed this part of it. To hear other people appreciate poetry, that was a very stabilizing moment for me. One of the crowd that I really enjoyed meeting the most are all these published authors. So you'd get a little girl coming all the way from North India, her name was Shelly Mishra, or meeting Joseph Fernandez sir. He had held a proper workshop on how to publish your work. I was so mind blown to learn so many things behind the scenes. It's something that I feel we don't get to see in everyday life, maybe. And even just language, I didn't realize how far I could take my language until we had these writing workshops. So Nitin, being an international business journalist, he's worked for Reuters and everything, he used to hold these sessions called Write It Right workshops. So every time a Write It Right workshop comes around, we know we're going to learn something new that we didn't know before. Because that was teaching me to further my craft. It was talking about the things that I like. Then one day, while we were all sitting in the office room and we were talking and discussing, Nitin came up with an idea and said, hey, you know guys, we create so much content among all of us, and you know, I do editing, I'm doing book editing as well, Archana is also doing book editing. Why not put it together as a content creation company? Now, while Nitin was saying all of that, I just exploded in my mind. I was like, okay, this is heading in the direction that I want. I want a publishing company, and okay, this may be the way I can go there. I start this, I'll work with them, let this be a content creation company, and then maybe, eventually, we can start putting out our books, we can put out our children's stories, let's go out, let's publish books, and I got super excited. And to know that that was going to start, that we were going to start a company called TRR CPL 3 years down the line, was just amazing for me.
So for the past 3 years to 4 years, I have seen how Archana has implemented her small plan and then it has grown to such proportions. And how she takes communication to a new level has always been something that I have really admired. And on top of that, the reading room affords me this way of rediscovering my childhood through comic books and graphic novels and of course books. And at the end of the day, just like every story, this is the story that we always want to tell. One of the things that I really value about is me going back to childhood, like how I did the Avengers event with Sid, and it was really a trip down memory lane. And the fact that I could do something like that is also one of the things that the reading room has given me. And for that, and for this entire concept, I'm really grateful to Archana for that.
So the reading room started when I was just 6 years old, and since then I love growing up in the reading room because there are a lot of books and there are a lot of graphic novels and a lot of different things to do. And I also love it because I make a lot of new friends from different schools. It's really great to know that there are more people who have the similar interests that I have, and they also like the same things that I do. And also growing up in TRR, I made friends which are not school children also. I made a lot of other friends. Like I made friends which are artists, poets, filmmakers, photographers, a lot of people. And I like the idea of having books around me all the time. Since I started going to the reading room, I think I really improved on language and I got a lot more confidence on going on to stage. Isn't it better to have curly hair Isn't it better to have hair that just stands up if you wanted to? Can you do that without your fancy hair conditioner? Okay, I admit it, we use it a bit, but it's nothing compared to your 2 bottles a month thing. Just imagine how much plastic you are using up just to make your hair look all fancy and glittery. Then I made my own event. I planned my own Avengers Assemble. Yeah, so Avengers Assemble is an event me and Nicha made. So it's a lot of puzzles and quiz and a lot to learn more about Avengers and cosplay and everything. So I really enjoyed growing up in TRR as one of the crew members too.
Hello everyone, I am Roja Roy and I have been going to the reading room for 3 years and not a single day has been boring. Almost every day is filled with books and discussions and of course fun. And not only do I get the chance to read a book, but I get to discuss it with everyone. And I do believe that reading a book and being able to discuss it with everyone and getting their views and opinions takes reading a book to a whole new level. And the reading room has made it possible for me. It has introduced me to a lot of wonderful authors with beautiful writing, such as Enid Blyton, whom I first started reading with, and Rick Riordan, Angie Sage, Sherlock Holmes, and many more. And Archana ma'am and Gayatri there have always encouraged me to go out and explore the books which I like. The reading room also has a lot of fun activities in which you can interact with each other and have a totally great time. The reading room has also helped me to improve a lot of my skills like poem writing and extempore. And yeah, it has been totally fun. They actually make you learn everything in a totally fun way that you don't even know that you're memorizing all of it. It's totally great. And I can definitely say that being at the reading room was a great experience for me. Thank you.
Hi everyone. I am very happy that our reading room is celebrating its 4th birthday, and I am happy that I have been part of the reading room for the past 2 years. It has brought me more attracted to books, stories, writing, and has also boosted up my confidence a lot. I have a lot of friends at the reading room. I love Archana ma'am and Gayatri. I always look forward for the reading room classes to come. I wish that the reading room will celebrate more birthdays in the future.
Hi all, I'm Jenny and this is my sister. I'm Hannah. We have been members of reading room for 6 months now. We didn't imagine that the reading room was such a wonderful place. We thought it was just another library where you go, collect a book, read it and return it. But boy were we wrong. And we met so many new friends there and teachers, Archana ma'am and Gayatri. Archana ma'am used to reads beautiful stories for us, and they're so amazing. We unknowingly become the characters. They teach us wonderful skills in English like letter writing, poet writing. They teach us how to say debates and elocutions. They teach us many writing activities also. They give us assignments and we are supposed to complete them. They give us when we give it to them for their feedback, they give us wonderful feedback. We give it back and we learn so many more things we could have added to that letter, or we could have added to that poem. In school, when I used to learn letter writing, it was not this fun, and it's so amazing when I go to reading room. I always wait for that day in the week, and even now in Corona, I always wait for that online class every day. I love reading room a lot. And now, because of reading room, my public speaking skills and my writing skills have increased tremendously. It's nice to have compliments from my teachers and my school friends. And in the reading room, it's such a beautiful and good vibe coming to you. The colors are so beautiful, all the walls are filled with vibrant colors, and there are so many books which we can choose from. Right now also, we miss our friends dearly. It's nice to have them around. Whenever we read a book with Archana ma'am, it's like we go into the book and our friends also come with us as the other characters. It's just wonderful. And we all discuss the questions and our doubts and what we think is going to happen next. We love the reading room and we love Archana ma'am and Gayatri. Happy 4th anniversary to the reading room. And many more to go.
The one thing that I really feel happy about, the one thing that I take home with me every day is watching these kids and their interactions. With each and every storytelling session, with each and every workshop that we do, with each Talents and Tales session where we're doing different kinds of activities with them, I see each of them take home different things. Maybe a kid realizes that, hey, I really enjoy art. Maybe another one realizes that, hey, poetry might be my strength. But to be able to let them explore so many options, to take them out of that box that they seem to want to stay in, to be able to open that up for them, to let them explore all the possibilities, that's something that I really enjoy. The way they just come together, to be able to watch them running up the stairs, all excited for the session, waiting to know what story we're going to read today, what's going to be the next activity of the month, all those are these tiny things that make such a huge... I've seen kids walk in here feeling very lost and feeling very clueless and not sure if they'll fit in. And then once the session begins and they see so many people talk about books and stories and different things, the discussions go all over the place. We have an hour and a half with them, but when we start talking to them, everything just kind of fades away, and the kids feel the same way too. It's just so beautiful to be able to share that with them and to have that experience of watching them open up and to blossom in this way. It's very close to what I wish I had in my childhood, and to see that actually happening and to realize that, hey, I'm also playing a huge part in this is just a wonderful thing for me. If I had to try to define everything that the reading room is in one sentence, after being here for its journey over the past 4 years, I'd say it's a place where you have the freedom to express. With no judgment, it's a safe space where you can talk, you can express, you can be unbiased, and you just have a place you can call home.
As someone said, your life is like a book filled with chapters, and each chapter will be so special to you. And one such chapter in my life is the reading room, because as said, it's been 4 years the reading room started, and I have just joined 4 days back, and now itself it feels really special to me. And I have never felt so special in a place like Trivandrum, because I never got a chance to hang out a lot in this particular place. So yeah, the reading room is a beautiful feeling that I have, and it'll remain close to me forever.
So the reading room to me is a place that showed me that there's more to life than I thought, that there are a lot of options I can try, and here there's no judgment, only opportunity. And with all this exposure that I got here after talking to so many people, I realized that I can do a way lot more.
For me, the reading room is actually a place where I've always felt that I belong, like where I can talk, though I don't talk much, but yeah.
So reading room has in a way given me a lot of things, brought back that childhood and superheroes and excitement through the other children who come to the reading room, and my work. With regard to my work, I can do a lot of workshops on communication, about writing, everything as part of the reading room, and it's really exciting that way.
For me, reading room is my childhood.
At this point, what reading room is for me, or what it looks like for me, is a place where we develop critical thinking and strong opinion, independent opinion formation, and give everybody the tool to express that opinion and that thinking using the right, effective, efficient words. So it's basically critical thinking, opinion formation, and strong expression. That's what I see reading room as. Now, it could be through art, it could be through culture, it could be through writing, poetry, but express your opinion. Form your opinion smartly and express them smartly.